Hi everybody, welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, you're extremely welcome. I'm Jane and my husband Mike does everything behind the camera. We're British, early retirees, we have no debt, we've paid off the mortgage, and we live a thrifty, frugal and money-saving life here in Brittany in northwest France. And every Sunday we share an aspect of our private life, the things that we do personally to save money. But this Sunday I'm going to get you up to speed about the fact that we are relocating, and we'll tell you all the news of that and all the details and where we are with that. So first of all, if you've not seen any of the videos of us explaining where we're going and why, we are leaving Brittany, we are selling this property, and we are going to the department of Aude, Department 11 in the south of France, about 90 minutes by road from Spain, so right down at the bottom of France. We're going for guaranteed hot, dry, sunny summers, less rain and brighter skies. We love it here in Brittany, but my gosh, does it rain sort of October right through till June. It can just rain a lot, and we're moving for a better climate. We're also moving as a complete change of life. So we've gone from this sort of very rural, sort of quiet life here in Brittany to somewhere we're going to be where it's a bit livelier, a few more people, different things to do, and a different way of life. We're both 60. I'm 60 this year. Mike is 60 next year. And we've sort of taken it upon ourselves to think that if we don't go on an adventure now, will we ever? So the adventure is about to begin, and we're about to tell you the little journey to get us to where we're going. So let's tell you about our property sale here first. It took us quite a long time to get the house ready to go on the market. We completely painted throughout the house. Lots of rooms didn't have any proper flooring down. We put flooring down, we had wiring put through, we had an electrical heating system installed, and that took time. We then had to have diagnostic surveys done and the fosse septique survey done, and then all the paperwork to the notaire, I beg your pardon, to the immobilier, to the sales agent, and it went on the market about a week or so ago. And I'm talking to you on Wednesday, and the viewings took place on Monday. And the first people who came along on Monday and the second people who came along on Monday both made full asking price offers. You get a full asking price offer, you are legally obliged to accept it. We just had to decide which one. And we went with the cash buyer who could buy this place really quickly. The other people still needed to sign for their property and sell their property, and it could have caused delays. So we went for the cash buyer, and we have promised them that we will be out by September. So we better get a move on. Let me tell you about buying another house. We'll put some links in the description box of our trip to the south of France, because you may not have seen it. And we went to the south of France, to the whole Carcassonne area. So Carcassonne, Perpignan, and everywhere between that. And the area that we were looking at for housing, as well as being on holiday, was mid-distance between Carcassonne and Perpignan. Sort of close to the Pyrenees, close to the Mediterranean, close to some major cities like Perpignan, 2 hours from Toulouse, an hour from Carcassonne. So lots of life, lots of activity going on there. But where we were looking was a much quieter area. And we focused our search on a town of about 3,000 people, and the town was called Quillon. And we based ourselves in Quillon for a week, and then we went and looked at all the surrounding areas, lovely villages and lovely places. We looked at Limoux, we looked at Espérance, looked at Cuisa, Allais-les-Bains. We also looked at Axat. Now, we loved some of those areas. I'm going to talk through now about why we didn't choose some of the areas or some of the houses. stayed for the 16 days in the busy little town of about 3,000 people of Keon, and we looked at some houses in Keon and we just wrote them off the list straight away. Keon is a busy town. It is also nestled between the foothills of the Pyrenees, and it's got the River Aude running through it. So when it's busy and it's got a lot of traffic there, there's a lot of noise funneled in there. And funnily enough, all the houses that we could afford, sorry about the traffic noise, and this is not much traffic at all. This is like going home from work time at the moment when I'm recording this. So sorry about that. But the houses that we could afford in Keon were definitely on very, very busy main roads. I'm talking like truck after truck after truck and buses and cars like all day long. And it was just too busy for us, and it was not our thing. We then started looking at small towns like Esperanza, Campan-sur-Aude, Cuisa, bigger towns like Limoux, and kind of knocked off houses one at a time. We particularly loved a small town called Axat. Again, it had the River Aude running through it, and it was still sort of like the spring water levels there. And we looked at houses that were riverside. They were not in danger of flooding themselves. But when we stood on like the big balconies outside the house or the roof terraces on it, we actually had to raise our voices to hear each other over the river. Now, people whitewater raft down the River Aude. So you can imagine if you want to live somewhere where you want a community, but you don't want too much noise, living somewhere with a gushing great river in the middle of it is going to be noisy. So, and actually, none of the houses in Axat that were the right house, we just couldn't afford them. And the houses that we could afford all had something seriously wrong with them. So they were either too small. We went to see one house, it had 4 bedrooms and it had 1 toilet. So it means we would have to have had major work done to fit another bathroom or 2 bathrooms or a bathroom, at least a half bathroom in, to make it just livable. You know, if you've got people round, you can't say, oh, sorry about that, we'll have to queue up and use the same toilet. It's modern world. We don't want to do that. Then we looked at houses where there was a disconnect between the house and the garden. So you had to go like upstairs because it's on the side of a mountain, go out the door, go across the path and through another path and back down to your garden somewhere else. So we didn't like the fact that some of the houses had disconnected gardens. We didn't like some of the houses where you had to park and then go up like 25 steps to get to the house, because we kept thinking, we're going to get old. We're fitting well now, 20 steps now, not a problem at all. But if we're 70 or 75 or 80, if we are lucky enough to live that long, then that's going to be a problem. So we started cutting houses out. Then we looked at houses that we could afford, and within our budget, it would have been extraordinarily tight to have bought the house and have renovation work done. To put you into the mind of sort of how much this is going to cost. The house behind me, which you can't see at the moment, when we had this renovated in 2019, each window with a shutter in it cost 1,400. It's double that now, and some of them needed all new windows. So we just started striking things off the list, and we couldn't find anything in Axat. We kind of got over that little mini heartbreak that we couldn't afford to live in a place that we really, really loved. And then we started looking at other areas, and we could find houses that we could afford. We could even afford houses in Carcassonne. We could afford houses in Limoux or Cuisa. We could afford them. And then we started looking at the property taxes, and the property taxes were 2,500. We're thrifty, frugal and money-saving people. We do not want to live somewhere where the property taxes are sky high. So let's tell you now about the house that we chose and why we chose it. You must be thinking to yourself, so well, what did you buy? We have an offer accepted on a house, and I'll talk to you about the buying procedure after this, but I'll tell you about the house first. We have had an offer accepted on an old stone house in a tiny hamlet just outside that busy town of Keon. So we get all the best of both worlds. We get somewhere quiet to live, a 5-minute drive away from this lively, busy town with everything going on. It's a very lively place. It has lots of festivals in the summer. It has night markets. It has a week-long festival. It's just lively. It's a lovely place to live, and it's full of things that we can get involved in the local community. But we won't live there. We will live 5 minutes away. I'll try and get Mike to put in a few little snippety pictures around me now of the house. They are old pictures. The house is it's been more renovated since these pictures have been taken. And because we're thrifty, we've bought this as a private sale. So we as buyers have got this a little bit cheaper than if it went through an estate agent. Because if it went through an estate agent, we would be paying 5.5% on top of this price for the fee that goes to the estate agent. We're not paying that. We put a shout out on the local community group there on Facebook saying, we're looking for a house, this is our budget, and these are the areas that we're interested in. If you've got a house for sale, contact us. And the people who we are buying from did just that. Super people they are too. So it's an old stone house in a hamlet just outside Keon. And I'm going to tell you, it's a lovely house. It's 5 bedrooms. So we can have a nice big office each. We can have an office, and I'll have my sewing room, we'll have a guest bedroom, we'll have Mike and I's bedroom, and it's 2.5 bathrooms. So it's got 2 bathrooms, it's 3 stories, a bathroom on each floor with a full shower, bath, sink, everything in it. And then on the ground floor, on the entrance, you've got a guest half bathroom there. So it's great. There's no steps. It's got great big gates so we can just drive a car in. It's a courtyard garden. It's very low maintenance. It gets sun and shade throughout the garden. The gates all lock. The house has got shutters for warmth, safety and security. The only downside is that it is currently their holiday home, so it doesn't have heating throughout the entire house. It's kind of what I would call open plan downstairs. So the lounge, the dining room and the kitchen are open. And currently it's got a wood burning stove that the owners told us by his own admission isn't great. We will replace that when we get there, probably with a pellet stove. Unless we hear differently there, that wood is easy to source and wood is cheap enough to get. But there isn't a barn or any storage or anywhere there that would be a big space for wood. There is a small barn that's an outdoor storage building. I'll get Mike to pop in some pictures of that as well. That we can easily store bags of wood pellets there. So that's what we'll do. And it will probably need some heating or an electrical radiator system, or I only know the French for this. It's called a pompe à air. So pompe à air in the bedrooms upstairs is like aircon, dehumidifier and heating all in one. I think it's described as a split system, so it heats and it cools. The downstairs, because it's a big old stone building, will stay cool, but I should imagine the bedrooms will need some kind of aircon in the summer. Let me tell you a bit more, because that is a big bit. 4 minutes. I'll tell you more. So let's tell you the little mini story of selling our house. We got an estate agent out. She told us everything that we had to do. We had all the diagnostics done, all the septic tank checked, everything passed with flying colours. Everything was up to code. The house went on the market on the Monday. On the same Monday, the estate agent had people calling her saying they wanted to see the house. The soonest that they could get there was the following Monday. So it's Wednesday, so Monday just gone, 2 days ago. And on the Monday, 2 families turned up and both families offered the full asking price, which we accepted. We think we got the sale so quickly because we wanted the house priced to sell. We didn't want the house price inflated. We wanted it at the right beg your pardon, the right price for the house to sell. And it did. I don't think we undersold it by any means. We're really happy with that. The agency gets 5.5 of our sale price, but we've still got plenty of money to leave and go and buy another house. And something that I should tell you about Mike and I is we always buy our next house for less than we sold our previous house. So we've always got money to do what we need to do to the house. If you're interested, I shall tell you about the legalities of buying a house. So what's going to happen now is we've had the formal exchange of letters via the estate agent that they have offered the price and we have agreed the price. That is then going to go to a notaire. We've got a notaire here in our little town, and they will draw up an agreement called a compromis de vente, which is like a promise to buy and a promise to sell. Once that is in place and Mike and I and everyone else has the compromis de vente sold, that compromis de vente will go on to the notaire, the lawyers for the people whose house we are going to buy. Once they have that paperwork that we have an agreement in place for our house to sell, they can draw up the compromis de vente there. If we were cash buyers, like we had the money in our hand, right this minute now, we could get the compromis de vente going in Kion, but we can't do that immediately, so we need that signed. When the compromis de vente are both signed, the whole thing is in motion. The whole selling process can happen beginning to end in 2 months. So it's the 11th, so that would take us the 11th of July, the 11th of August. But because the people whose house we are buying, their son is getting married, they're having their wedding party at the house. So we have agreed that we will wait until after that. And our buyers have agreed that the sale will take place, the exchange, that everybody will get out and move house in the beginning of September. So that is how the legal process works of the selling of the house. And all the money's transferred digitally, automatically, and it'll just turn up in the lawyer's office and it will turn up in people's bank accounts, and the difference will turn up in our bank account. So that's the way it works. So what else do I have to tell you about the house that we're buying? It's a holiday home and they're selling it completely furnished, everything in it. We're buying it as a turnkey property, which is extraordinary. We might not like all of their stuff, but we will just keep it for now, which means we've got to have a big old sale in our house. It means over the summer, whatever's in our house is going to go and it'll all be sold, and whatever money we get, we will just pop it in our bank account and use that for buying anything we'll need, which won't be much when we get there. We even get bedding, we even get towels, we even get plates, we even get glasses. It's just everything. We could go with just our clothes if we wanted to, but of course, you've never just got your clothes, have you? You've got all of your personal things that you like, your pictures, your sewing machine, your hobbies, your computers, your books, all of those things. So we will be hiring a van with a driver to take our personal stuff down there, because it's just makes it easier. I don't want to drive the car down there on my own, following Mike in a van, and he doesn't want to be in the car whilst I drive a van down there myself. So we will be paying a van driver, and it's expensive. A van and a driver, I think it's about a metric ton in weight that will go in that van. It's about €1,800, so it's not cheap, and it's not cheap to hire a van either. So there we go. We've sold the house. We've had offers accepted. I should imagine by the next time I speak to you, paperwork will have been signed and the whole buying and selling process will be in progress. So there we are. We've sold the house. We're moving to the south of France, to Kion in Aude, in the south of France. So there you go. Up to date. Thanks for watching. Leave us a comment. Hit the like button, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Carcassonne. Big castle.